princesses. I mean, how many princesses do you know who got to go to a normal school, stay up late playing video games, feed their pets, and give them baths? I could go out and play with kids and just be myself. I loved to live a simple life, just like everyone else. I remember one time I begged Dad to take me to the circus in town. Oh, honey, I could bring them to the palace. You don't need to go there. No, Dad. You know I want to go like everyone else. And I want you to come with me. Dad wasn't too sure about it, so I suggested we get a little creative and disguise ourselves to throw off the paparazzi. It was so worth it. Oh, girl, that's really fun. Yeah, I told you so. Okay, now say hooray! All of a sudden, I had terrible hiccups, which worried Dad. So I told him I was fine and went outside for some fresh air. As I walked around, I heard cries and rushed towards the tent to find people trying to train a monkey. Hey, you just stop it. How cruel. You can't do this to this poor baby. Ordering us? Who do you think you are? Some princess? Show off, kid. I ran away, not because I was scared, but because I wanted Dad to know about it. And later, he dealt with it. But I remained upset for days, just imagining how that poor animal must have felt. One day, I heard some kids playing in my garden. When I went to check, I learned they were twins, Sophia and Ted. Their parents were friends of Dad's, and he promised to take care of them now that they had lost everything. The twins and I got along great. Ted was so much like me. We had all the same interests, and he was so gentle with animals, which I loved. Sophia was also sweet, and when we first met, we started talking like old friends. But gosh, she had this royal attitude that I just couldn't get with. Guys, I'm going on a tree planting campaign. Would you join me? It's gonna be so much fun. No thank you. I don't want to get my hands dirty. I've never done it before, but since you're doing it, it'll be interesting. I'm coming. Ted was the sweetest. My life was perfect, but when I turned 8, my hiccups became awful. And to make things worse, my eyes started to twitch. Dad was worried and took me to a doctor, and it turned out that I had Tourette's syndrome. Even though I tried my best to control the tics, sometimes I just couldn't. One time in class, I was reading a poem that felt like I was on a bumpy road. This poem, seeing how all the kids just stared at me and then some giggled, my ears turned red. It was so awkward, and I ran from the class and just wanted to hide my face. But Ted followed me. Olivia, don't sweat it. Don't let this little thing put you down. Show the world you're not scared to take on whatever comes your way. Nobody's perfect, and that's okay. He was right, and because of him, I never felt bad about myself ever again. Even though the paparazzi once made a mean video of me, it did hurt me sometimes, but it's part of life. Being a princess would never be that easy. On the other hand, Ted always tried to make me happy. He gave me cards every day. That's the weirdest thing he always did. That's so cute, Ted. But nowadays, no one makes cards. But I always have time for you. You know I care about you the most. Oh, come on. That's a little overdramatic. Just because I don't make Olivia one card every day means I care less about her? And then the twins started to fight. Like always. I immediately came between them and stopped them from bickering because it could easily turn into a...
Is your website bounce rate sky high? Find out why with Hotjar. Hotjar shows you how people interact with your site. You'll see how far they scroll, learn why they leave, and get face-to-face feedback on the user experience. Because when you know what isn't working, you can stop the bouncing.
War. When we graduated from high school, he asked what I wanted to do. I told him I wanted to go camping and explore the wild. And to my surprise, he agreed. A couple of days later, I set off on a cruise to reach a forest camping site. I went to my room to freshen up, but when I came out after taking a bath, I screamed in horror when I saw a guy lying on my bed. Who are you, and what are you doing in my room? I'm gonna call security right now. Actually, that's my line. This is my room, 206. Why don't you check it again? I marched to the door and cringed when I saw that the jerk was actually right. I'm so sorry for that. No problem. Do you need help with that? Yes, thanks a lot, jerk. I grabbed my stuff and walked to my room as everyone stared at me. I went out to the ship's deck to take a couple of pics for Instagram, but I slipped and was about to fall. Thank God someone grabbed me.